Sandbox.
Unopened Beta
Episode-
official podcast.
Episode unknown.
Yeah, I forgot what episode we're on. Should I see?
Episode 8
Yay!
of Sandbox.
We made it. It's the 8th episode. Spectacular.
And you know what 8 is? Horizontal.
Infinity.
Also roughly comparable to Shaggy's true power.
Because like Shaggy, opening beat will never end. Jamie, do you have a bottle opener?
Yes, I do.
Cool. Because I don't want to get up. So you have fun with that. I found a weird picture of you as a kid.
Yeah. Let's not get that out for our adoring fans.
The things we find.
The things we find in Jamie's shed.
I wouldn't call it a shed. So
Things
today
we find in the podcast lounge.
we're gonna be talking things we find trash. We're gonna be talking exclusively about video games, movies, and TV. So it's a pretty specific topic today.
Yeah.
Jamie, we sit down.
It's cold.
No one cares.
It's really cold.
No one cares. Today we're both blue. We're both player one.
Yes, we decided that
Ready Player
we
One.
can decide. So, why not just both be player one?
Jamie, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking gravy. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking gluten free.
Nice.
I'm gonna now tell you what I'm actually drinking. It's Krabby's. It's alcoholic ginger beer. Enjoy the curiously spicy yet deliciously refreshing blend of real steep ginger and exotic spices. In the 1800s, the Scottish pioneer John Krabby created unconventional drinks by combining exotic spices from the Far East with the finest steep ginger. Today, Krabby's alcoholic ginger beer comes in a wide variety of flavours, but still retains the same pioneering and adventurous spirit of its founder. It's that spirit that makes Krabby's drinks genuinely surprising and unique. We call it refreshingly adventurous. I'm going to drink it. Tell me more.
Victory Ale. This one looks really unappealing. It's just got. It just looks old-fashioned. Brewed to celebrate Admiral Nelson and his crew. It is. I don't know why. It is powerful, pale copper-coloured, with a peppery aroma, and goes well with stew and gravy dishes.
It just sounds like a very meaty beer in general.
I went for this one because I haven't had it before only. Otherwise, this would be like the bottom pick for me.
It sounds savoury.
It sounds fine, but
Nice little picture. High charm. High charm. It's got a boat on it. Mine's got an elephant though, so mine wins. Mine is absolutely delicious.
although I like it, I can't stop thinking about gravy.
Is it gravy? Let me have a sip. Made by Jason Bateman, gold medal winning.
It's kind of meaty, actually, yeah.
It tastes like gravy.
It's a little bit meaty.
That's so weird. Well, I could definitely imagine having that. I wouldn't even need it with gravy. I'd just pour it over my meat.
Yeah.
This is really nice. You've had Krabbies, right?
Oh yeah, I love
Do you want
Krabbies.
to try a bit anyway?
No, I'm okay. I've had lots of Krabbies.
If you have mine and then have yours is going to taste vile.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's getting like an 8 or 9 for taste.
Yeah, I
For
think Krabbies is
agility.
fantastic.
Smells nice, smells gingery. Again, 8 or 9. Maybe even 10. I never give it anything a 10 because I don't want to waste it.
But it's really good, yeah.
But then it's like, well, when do you use 10? Feels good in the mouth. I can't remember what else we do.
So,
Every week. Why don't we just have a list right here?
I don't actually know what colour this is.
Why do you want to know the colour?
So I know what I'm drinking.
Oh, it's brown and thick, like gravy.
So I thought it's golden. You wouldn't have thought so, but it is.
Fair?
So mine is taste is like a. This is a gold medal winner as well. But
Gold medal winner of what though?
quite often, the camera. It's pretty significant.
Oh, camera.
Well, not. It says it mentions camera. Camera champion strong ale.
I mean, that's pretty significant then.
But it's like...
Well, strength is 4%. I'll give it a 10 for strength because it doesn't taste strong. It doesn't taste alcoholic.
Okay.
Carry on.
If this was a... going into a pie, this would be like a solid meal. It's a bit delicious.
Mm.
But I'm going to leave it a taste at 4.
It's a cooking beer.
Not my favourite.
That's funny because this is like my favourite.
I'll give it strength for good. It's 6%. You can't taste that. So I guess, I don't know if that's a winner or a loser.
I always
Like
assumed.
winner.
Yeah, I think that's good because if it doesn't taste strong, you could just chug it like juice. That's good.
I think the beef that they put into it has masked the alcohol content.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's a golden beer. It doesn't taste like that at all. Yeah, I'm very confused by that. But there we go.
Well, there we have it. We're all confused here today on Open Your Beta.
So, Jack, tell me. Let's talk about. We want to talk about 2019 movies and TVs and all that.
Yeah, we're going to more heavily focus on movies and TVs today than we have in the past.
But we want to have a little look at 2 things that came out in 2018, which we haven't talked about yet.
Very end of 2018, specifically
Yeah.
Netflix related.
When did
Can you guess what one of them is?
one of let's talk
You can
about
say what
the
they
others.
are. Don't tell anyone.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Bandersnatch first.
Oh, and Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch and Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Anything beginning with
Wait,
B.
where did you get Bandersnatch? What did that pop
What?
into your head?
What even is that? Yes, Bandersnatch is a Lewis Carroll character from a poem he wrote. It was going to be a game in the 80s. What else?
Really?
Oh yeah, well that's true.
That's not true.
No, that is true.
Oh, right.
It was going to be a game.
Oh.
It got cancelled. Don't think the real story had anything to do with demons.
No.
Don't think. Okay, what do you want to start with?
I mean, Bandersnatch. I'll talk about Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
Bandersnatch
Kinda started.
as a game is as in the game. Bandersnatch in
Yeah.
show or film, whatever you want to
I'd
call
say
it.
film.
I'd say
It's a
film.
TV film.
If you watch it to its entirety, it's a film. Bandersnatch itself is like symbolic of Stefan's just general confusion and whatever mental conditions that he has. I guess an anxiety and they don't actually tell paranoia of some sort. Yeah, because the story of his game is nonsense.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like when he's like, it reflects how ridiculous his own game is by having all the different alternative paths in Bandersnatch, the movie. So, like the government's conspiracy branch, he needs to add it. He's like adamant that there's gonna be a government conspiracy branch in this crazy game.
Yeah.
And there's a government conspiracy branch in the movie.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's shoehorned in and rushed and doesn't make any sense, which is
Like
just
in the
like
game.
the game that he made.
Yeah.
Because he didn't. The CEO guy was like, "You can take that out.
Yeah.
It doesn't add nothing." No.
It's got to stay in. Government conspiracy. Yeah. I really enjoyed Bandersnatch. A lot of people complaining. Not a lot of people. I think some people were complaining that. If you don't know, Bandersnatch is a Netflix movie. It's a Black Mirror movie, I guess. Black Mirror, the TV show, an anthology horror thriller show. I mean, I know it's Black Mirror. It's I guess it's a Black Mirror movie rather than a Black Mirror episode.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, a sci-fi thriller anthology series, and this is an interactive film where you choose what happens and follow different branching paths. And all crazy stuff.
They must have quite a lot of power, not over Netflix, but within Netflix, because they had to make a brand new system for that one show.
Apparently, the system's already in place, and it is used in a couple of children's shows.
You're joking. Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm almost certain that's true. There's
so
like
interesting.
2 or 3 children's TV shows that have used it, so kids can like answer questions and stuff in the shows. Yeah,
Which point is change the settings so it doesn't...
it's more fun that we have to constantly. I'll do that another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have that thought initially as well. Like, wow, Netflix are willing to do all this for Black Mirror, which isn't that surprising because Black Mirror is big for them. It's a great show, but yeah, apparently the system was already there.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought as a TV show / movie, whatever, it was filmed so well. I loved
it.
The
Always
characters.
looks so high budget.
I loved the setting. Like the fact he's a video game developer, like it's cool. It's like an early video game developer. You get to see. We weren't around then. We weren't born in that era.
No.
Going to W.H. Smith and buying video games is a really weird concept.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I love how they had the CEO who doesn't give a damn about video games.
Yeah.
He's
Is it Asim Chowdhury? I hope that's his name. Jabuddy G from People Just Do Nothing.
The Activision from the real world. And
yeah,
it's really interesting. I love that.
It's really cool, like seeing how innovative that sort of thing would have been at the time, and like, oh my god, we're going to do this crazy technology. Games are changing, and that was kind of when games, well, from what I hear, when they did kind of start to change more from it's about your high score to it's about the experience of playing the game.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, a bit later than that, probably more early 90s, but yeah.
Yeah, with the SNES.
That sort of thing.
That was when it got like that.
The SNES.
I was going to say something else about that.
Yeah, we're completely going on the... It's about video games. It's about a lot more on video games. But yeah, a lot of the criticisms I heard, which I'm sure anyone knows if they've been following Bandersnatch, is that the choice didn't matter enough, or there wasn't enough choices, blah blah blah. You like replayed if you made a bad choice, and there was kind of one true ending.
Yes.
But I thought it was incorporated into the story and the themes in such a way that it didn't really matter. It was the point of it.
I understood the point of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be mad at the show because I get it.
Yeah.
I get what they were doing. They consciously made these decisions.
I mean, like you said, the show is, the game is an analogy for the show, because apparently they did want to do more. Let's cut it down.
Look at this. You've been watching the top of our heads for a little while. I don't know how long that went on for.
It's a podcast, Jamie. They're listening to it on Spotify.
Oh, this is so not ideal. It's really funny.
Sorry, the tripod we have set up for our camera keeps tilting over.
Do you know where I put the key?
We don't have a tripod or a camera.
I'm just really cold and I know this door can shut.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
Please give us a call, please.
Why don't you put on my jumper?
No.
You could be player 4.
Right, I'm putting on.
You change your mind immediately. It's a big jumper too. The things I do for love.
Thank you, Jack.
Welcome. The tag's on the wrong side, so you always think you've got it on backwards.
What?
As in, you put it on the way that you would think it was forwards, because
right.
the tag is on the right rather than the left.
Oh.
Fun fact. So let's edit all of that out. Bandersnatch.
Where did this come from?
Oh my god, a yellow shirt. Jumper.
So...
You're not going to complain about the choices.
No, I do. I'm not going to complain too much. I'm not going to complain about the show.
Yeah.
However, I definitely was disappointed with just the... I don't know if the story lives up to how good the show was, if you see what I mean. Like
I know what you mean.
I wish there was the true ending was there was more to it. It didn't actually make any sense.
No, it would have been nice if at least that ending was better explained.
We agree that the true ending is when he's a kid on the train. This whole thing. He's a kid.
And he dies on the train, and then dies in the future.
I don't like that.
No, I would have. I wouldn't have minded if nothing else was explained, because it can very easily be assumed that everything else was he was crazy, it was in his head, blah blah blah. But because that is, I think, pretty inarguably the true ending, that's when it doesn't rewind you back. It would have been kind of nice if that branch was explained a bit more.
Yeah, because you have to watch a lot of stuff.
Especially because Black Mirror in general isn't too ambiguous in that sort of way. They usually explain why things are happening.
So, yeah.
And there's always like some sort of logical, technological explanation for it. Maybe not logical, but you know.
Yeah, I think some episodes of Black Mirror, they can get away with not explaining stuff because it is a TV episode.
Yeah.
But because of the length of this, I wanted more.
And they do usually explain things enough. Like, I'm trying to think of an example of like an ambiguous ending in a Black Mirror episode, but I really can't think of one.
Well, I can tell you one.
What, go on.
The 50,000 credit.
15 million merits.
Is it 50 million?
15
million. Oh yeah, 15 million merits.
I guess that's kind of ambiguous.
Well, it's ambiguous insofar as it's only about the characters and the world is kind of a bit... You know, that is a good example of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so you don't understand why the world is how it is, but you understand the rules of the world. Everyone has to ride these bikes, get the merits, and then they can save enough to go on this show, and then maybe get a better life or a worse life in the poor girl's case. Yeah, you understand the rules, but then in Bandersnatch, you don't understand.
There are no rules.
You don't understand the rules at all. It's very confusing. And
what you mean in Bandersnatch?
Yeah. The fact that I know it's not meant to be looked into this much detail.
No.
You have the scene with the woman who's making Bandersnatch, then you get to choose her options.
Oh yeah, the Colin's daughter, yeah.
But like, the fact that that's not even the ending is kind of frustrating because what is that? Like,
I mean, it can be an ending in theory. Just stop watching / playing.
Yeah, but I don't like that because why? And the fact that it prompts you to keep digging. Like, okay, so if this isn't, if we've just seen God, right?
Yeah.
That woman's God in this world. How can you possibly go back down into mortal territory with Stefan again? Now that you've seen that, surely everything that comes after that is meaningless if she's making it.
I didn't interpret it like that. I thought of it as, thinking back, that might have been how it's supposed to be interpreted. But I thought of it as that all did happen, and now she's making a show about it 30 years later, sort of thing. So it's not like what happened didn't happen. Although that is an interesting thought. But the way I thought of it, I mean, the closest to an explanation I thought was anyone who works on anything Bandersnatch related gets like possessed by Pax, or Pax just messes with their head until they go crazy.
Yeah. Which,
that's fine, but then why did he die as a kid on the train?
Yeah,
the Pax thing doesn't explain that.
And I don't think that as a story is very compelling. It doesn't. There's a lot more. A lot of the other Black Mirror episodes have more
to say.
Full endings.
Yeah.
But their meaning is multifaceted. You have, there's a lot to take from it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is quite insular. It's like, the meaning is
your choices don't matter.
Well, but that's not even what it is, though, is it? It's like it's just, if you break Bandersnatch, you go crazy. That's it. There's nothing, there isn't actually anything else to take from that. But again, the show so good.
Yeah.
Because you got the characters are so good, and they're so
The characters are really good.
The dad is so annoying, but also.
I mean, I don't feel that way because I feel far too bad for him.
Well, yeah.
He did not deserve anything to happen to him.
Do
you know the biggest?
A lot of bad things that he does though, to make you want to like him.
Yeah.
And if you want to believe the government conspiracy,
I was going to say,
then he's pretty messed up.
However, we don't know if he did anything bad. The biggest missed opportunity in the entire thing for me. Pardon me. Did you see the ending where he goes crazy and runs, and then he's on the TV set?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they don't call him by the actor's name.
Yeah, I know.
They're like, oh, what do they call him? Like Connor or something.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Connor, are you okay? It's like, you could have called him Theon. It would have been really cool.
Yeah.
It would have been so immersive. But yeah, that's a weird criticism. It was great. Will Poulter was especially great. I'm going to say Aston Chowdhury because I'm sure that's his name. Yeah. He did great again as the slimeball businessman.
He was so good.
Perfect role for him.
God,
have you seen People Just Do Nothing?
No.
It's a really funny mockumentary about a pirate radio station in London. And he's like... They're all like proper like trying to be really gangster, and he's like just this like trying to be an entrepreneur for all of them. Like, oh yeah, I'll get you this. I'll soundproof your studio for you, but he just doesn't know what he's doing. It's the same sort of character.
I've seen that.
You have seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have seen that. It's really funny.
It ended not long ago. Forever. I'd recommend that. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I need to talk about Colin quickly.
Yes.
I say talk about him.
Colin was the highlight for me.
He was my favourite character.
He was really good.
He was a cool cucumber. He was really weird. He was somehow above the game.
He intrigued me the most because he was like omnipotent.
Yes.
And times when you get to an ending and it rewinds, and then that's another really good thing about it. If you get to an ending that it then rewinds to let you play again, you don't have to watch the whole thing again. It shows you highlights, and some of them are different.
Yeah, they're different. Yeah.
Like Colin remembers things for some reason, and.
Oh, why? And Stefan remembers things.
Well, yeah, Stefan does sometimes. But less.
But he didn't remember that. That's the weird thing. Colin doesn't remember that.
Yeah, that's true. But when Colin does remember things, he remembers them much more obviously and clearly than Stefan does.
Or
like
even.
Stefan's like, oh, I don't know why I know that, but Colin's like, oh yeah.
Well, Colin.
Wink, wink.
I don't know if Colin. I feel like Colin doesn't actually know. This is another strange thing about the show. I don't think Colin knows. When he's in different timelines, but he's aware that the timeline exists.
Yeah, that's the impression you get.
Something strange happens. He's like, I know why. But it seems like Stefan is the only one who can carry those memories over. One thing
I've seen a lot of people mentioned, that I noticed, well, there's one timeline where you can kill Colin by having him jump off the balcony like I did, and then he appears later on in that same timeline, alive. And it's really confusing. He appears later on, I think it's after Stefan goes crazy or something, and there's a quick shot of the boss and Colin in the office, and he's there, like he doesn't do anything or say anything, but he's just there alive, and you're like, wait, he jumped off the balcony. But then I think that's supposed to be a timeline where none of that happened.
No, when you can't progress from the suicide timeline. That's an ending. Well, not an ending.
No, not when Colin jumps off though. Colin jumps off and kills himself.
And that's the end. That's the end. You have to rewind after that.
Do you have to?
Yeah. After that, the girlfriend comes along. She starts screaming, and then Pax attacks Stefan, and then he wakes up in the car with his dad outside the castle.
Oh man, okay, maybe I'm either thinking of something else or being an idiot. I'm sure there was a...
I'd forgive you. I don't think you can call yourself an idiot.
There's many timelines.
It's very confusing.
I'm sure there is a timeline where Stefan's Oh no, maybe it's when Stefan kills Colin.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It might be that one. Sure. When Colin comes to your house and then you can stab him, can't you?
Yeah.
It might be that timeline.
Right.
I'm certain there's a timeline where Colin dies, and before any rewind or any like hallucinations, he just comes back to life.
But then you also have the fact that if you kill Colin, he's not there in a different timeline.
Yes, that happens,
And
doesn't
then
it?
the girlfriend comes in and says, "Where is he?"
Mm.
But where is he? Come on, I want to know.
See,
why is Colin above it all?
that sort of stuff, I'm fine with not knowing, because I just love the intrigue of that.
No, that I agree with you.
Yeah.
Especially
because
it's
it's
not me complaining.
Colin. Yeah. That's ambiguity that I very much appreciate.
I loved it when you.
It's really
early
interesting.
options when you're asked if you want to work for the company,
Mm.
and if you say
One of them isn't
you
it?
say, "Yeah, I'll work there," he goes, "Wrong choice."
Yeah.
How does he know?
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is really cool.
Yeah. Well, we should probably move on.
Yeah. One quick thing.
Oh yeah, go on.
The writer, director, someone, I can't remember, said that there are endings that people haven't yet discovered, and there's one ending that's so hard to discover he can't find it again. I call bullshit. I don't think that's possible.
That's a complete lie.
I don't think that's physically possible. Millions of people have watched this and deeply analysed it, and there's absolutely no way that people still haven't found it.
I've seen it. Someone's
Built the entire timeline.
Yeah, it's not a timeline. It's like a cycle.
Well, yeah.
Really, but
Like, the only way that would be possible is if there was, like, other things on the screen to click.
yeah.
I'm sure people have tried that even.
And there's no way that the director would know.
Yeah.
Who would know if there was a really super secret?
I just want to slag off the director real quick. It's just like,
No.
that's not true.
So in fairness, that really irritated me because
He didn't say it immediately either. He said like a day after. Like, people have already fully unveiled this thing.
I watched Bandersnatch
Mm.
because it was Black Mirror, and then I saw the hype. I didn't see anyone talk about it before I watched it.
I didn't see anyone talk about it before I watched it until my sister mentioned it to me, which was quite surprising.
But after I watched it,
Mm.
people, all the links that you saw on social media, blah blah blah,
Mm.
were way overhyping it, and that's such a shame because there's no point pretending it's something that's not.
Yeah,
Saying stuff like
in terms of the choices and
there are
stuff.
so many endings.
Yeah.
You'll never find. That's not true. It's very finite. There aren't that many options.
And it's
you
like...
can watch it all very feasibly. It's not.
Yeah, I watched it all in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Assuming I did see everything. I think I literally got every incorrect ending
If you
in one sitting before I got the actual one.
I actually managed to go through missing quite a lot of bad endings.
I think I literally got every single bad ending in one sitting, which was quite good because it's like, I've seen it all.
I watched it again with my parents,
Yeah.
and they got all the bad endings.
Oh, really?
They keep going for other options, but that's when.
That's when it's really interesting.
I was a little bit after I watched it. I was a little bit wrapped up with the hype, people saying stuff. And I only watched it once. I was kind of like, well, how will I know if there's other endings?
Mm.
When I watched it again with my parents, and they chose lots of things that I didn't, I then realised, no, there aren't that many options.
Yeah.
Because all the options that they chose differently are dead ends, pretty much.
And the thing is,
So
it's really good as it is.
I
You
know,
don't need to make out like it's
No.
got loads of endings. It's not the point. It's not supposed to have loads of endings. That's not the point of it.
the
Yeah.
point of it, actually, is that it doesn't have many endings.
Yeah.
That is the point.
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
exactly.
Is that you can't. It's impossible to do that.
I mean, it's like you said it before in multiple choice games or
Yes, yeah.
shows or anything.
It's never gonna work.
People don't have the budget for it until we get AI to do everything for us and take over the world. However, it does make me very excited for the idea of interactive Netflix movies and TV shows in future. Probably not TV shows. I think you could do a lot with it, assuming the right people did stuff with it, like the people who made Bandersnatch.
I can see. It's really tricky. It's really, really tricky.
I don't want to see everyone do it. I want it to be a niche thing that's done every now and then, just for a very unique viewing experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that to be
No.
something that's very common, but it's difficult to do, and I feel like Bandersnatch shows that you can't
The limitations.
properly do it. But I mean, let's say you have one significant choice
Mm.
that truly makes a fork, true fork.
Yeah.
That is a crazy amount of work. Like,
You have to refilm everything.
You have to, if you have a true fork, then you've got. If you have it in the middle, you've got to double the amount that you film. That's one choice.
Yeah.
We'll call that like a true choice, where there's no dead end, there's no get out clause. It's like a fork, which is in theory what it should be. You can't do that many of those.
Yeah.
Because it gets completely insane. Especially, the only way you get around it is if you committed to the show being half an hour.
Yeah. Which I'd be fine with.
And you said, in this, we're going to have 10 options. That's feasible. It would take a long time to make, and the budget would be quite high. But it wouldn't be any longer than that. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't have a film like that.
I'd be fine with that. Because Bandersnatch...
Yeah, I'd watch it loads of times.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing. And Bandersnatch can be really short.
Yeah.
Like, it could just be the same sort of thing as that, but with more true endings. Just cut it off early.
Yeah.
And then you've got to go back and watch it again.
It's actually really easy to underestimate just how much a true path system would take. Like, when you look at, it's like when you fold a piece of paper, there's so many analogies, but if you fold a piece of paper a certain number of times, not that many times,
it's like
it goes
8?
up to the moon. No. Theoretically.
Okay, I thought you meant you can't fold it anymore.
Yeah. Theoretically, if you fold a piece of paper, it's like 50 times. It would go to the moon.
Yeah, it's like...
No, it doesn't seem like a lot.
Exponential.
It's so exponential.
Yeah.
That's what happens to these. If you have 10 choices...
The budget is exponential.
You've got a ton of work in your hands.
Yeah.
It's so cool though. I love that.
Another interesting discussion I've seen off the back of Bandersnatch, which obviously would be fitting for this podcast, is what constitutes something being a game? Because people are saying you could class Bandersnatch as a game and not a movie or a TV show. I thought that's quite interesting. But I really don't think there's much you can like class as a video game. I think the typical definition is like something that has a lose state, where you have to input something to avoid the lose state, basically.
Yes.
Which would in theory class Bandersnatch as a game, but then I think of video games that don't really have a lose state.
It's actually really tricky because I was just thinking...
It's hard to define.
It is hard to define because I was thinking, if you control a character, then it's undeniably a video game, and then if it's something like Heavy Rain, then you can say it's up for debate. But actually...
You control a lot of characters in Heavy Rain.
Like, there are plenty of adventure games which are just click, 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 which are undeniably games. They're
like a management game, you don't control a character then.
Fandango, that's undeniably a game, but I know you can move in it, but
what about
it's not
SimCity? You don't control a character in SimCity.
No, but that's clearly not a movie.
I want to look up the definition of video game.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, let's go specifically for video game and not just game in general.
You know that
because that would change everything.
How about this? A video game. My definition sucks, but a video game is basically what you said. If there's a state that you can change in some way.
Yeah.
As long as what you're doing is being actively generated by a computer, not pre-rendered entirely. It has to have some sort of
effect.
Some sort of like real-time generated something, not just a film that's being put on a play.
That would fit quite well with this description, brought to you by Google. A game played by electronically manipulating images produced by a computer program on a monitor or other display. That's just saying move images on computer, which
so basically,
I guess is good.
Basically, then we can say that a video game is
Bandersnatch.
I think a video game is something that has. I think it has to have some sort of interaction.
Yeah.
And it has to be generated in real time.
Yeah.
That's the definition of a video game. So Bandersnatch wouldn't be, but Heavy Rain would be.
Yeah. That works. You heard it here first, folks. The official definition of video game. Yeah, I like that one. Well, going back to the lose state thing, though, I do think more games have a lose state than that you'd think wouldn't. Like Animal Crossing, you're like, there's no lose state, you can't lose. But I think the lose state would be like stagnation. Like if you don't improve anything you own or don't get anything new, then you're just consistently losing at the game.
I don't think you can lose at Animal Crossing.
No, but I'd say if you grow completely stagnant in the game. Is that your butt or the chair?
Oh, that was the chair. I didn't
Don't
follow.
believe you. I'd say that's a lose state in its own. If
No.
you suck...
No, just disagree. You can't. No, you can't lose in Animal Crossing. There's like a load of games that you can't lose in. You can't. There's games where you can die and it doesn't count as losing. Like GTA. You can't lose GTA.
Yeah.
You can't lose.
If you suck.
The only games that I can say you can lose are arcadey games, where it's like you kick back to the beginning.
But it's not about like losing forever. It's like if there's a lose state. So in GTA, dying would be the lose state because the thing you're actually trying to avoid is dying. Even if you respawn, you're still lost in that interaction.
Yeah, I don't think Animal Crossing has that.
Yeah, if you don't move, and you keep getting small fries and fish in.
Okay, so this is a bit of a tangent.
Do it.
I'm not sure if you know about this, and I'm afraid it's not TV or movie related. It is video game related.
Yeah, we immediately went off. Carry on.
Sorry. But I do want to bring it up because it's actually recent.
Yeah.
I don't know how recent this is going to be when this airs. Hopefully, still recent.
It'll be like a month ago.
Did you hear about the state of Metroid Prime 4?
No.
This is a very, very interesting story.
Carry on.
In
While
a
you're
very-
doing that, I'm going to look for my other beer.
Do it. In
Found it.
a very uncharacteristic move, not just for Nintendo, but for any video game developer.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Samus is completely nude the entire game.
Oh, yeah. Nude state.
That's the opposite of lose state.
They uploaded a video.
Yeah.
Saying it was the title of the video was something like update on Metroid Prime 4 on the development of Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
They're very quiet about it for years.
Wait, did it get delayed? Didn't they say?
It did get delayed.
Didn't they say we've messed up big time and it needs to be delayed? I did hear about this, I think.
Okay, so it wasn't just messed up big time. It was.
They were like, we need to redo a lot of the development.
It was more than that. It was. We're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
With a brand new studio. Well, not it. They're giving it to Retro.
Yeah.
Who made all the other Metroid Prime games.
Yeah.
And they are essentially. They said. I'm pretty sure they said the words essentially starting from scratch.
Yeah, I'm lying. I heard about this.
That game was in development for. I mean, it was announced at E3 2017. So.
Like 2 years
it
ago.
probably has been in development for about 2 years as well.
Yeah.
And they're starting again.
Yeah. Yeah, I did hear about this, and I heard a lot of people praising them for being so open about
I'm
it.
so glad
which
people
is
are
really
happy
good.
about it, because I am.
No, I am.
It's so
You don't
good.
want them to just release a bad game and delay it without telling you why. Like,
Yeah.
we need transparency. The video game industry is
I know.
still treated by the people in the video game industry like such like a second class industry, you know what I'm trying to say.
No, it is.
Like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just video games. It's like, no, people are spending a lot of money on this.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I'm really glad they did it, and I'm glad they got a lot of good feedback about
They
it.
care about Metroid. Really care. Like they really care about that. They clearly want it to be a big game. They want it to be a big deal. Which they haven't had that. The last good Metroid game was Metroid Prime Corruption on Wii. Came out, I'm not sure when, but it was a long time ago. Like
2007.
many years ago.
Yeah.
After that,
I never played that one.
No one liked it, and I believe the only game after that was Federation Force, which was mocked.
What about Smash Brothers? The best Metroid game.
Well, Metroid has had the most. I mean, Smash Ultimate brought Ridley and Dark Samus.
Oh yeah.
In the game. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very glad they did that.
One thing that
and that it went well for them.
I want to take from this, a cool thing that I want to take from this, is that Retro Studios are working on it. Retro Studios' last game came out, I think 5 or 6 years ago. That was Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Oh really?
On the Wii U. And so it's been 5 or 6 years, and they've just been given the get-go that they can develop Metro Prime 4.
Yeah.
And everyone's been asking for years, when's Retro's next game coming out? So it's got to be coming soon, because they haven't just been sitting there doing nothing for 5 years.
Yeah.
Because they'd all be out of jobs by now.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping there's an announcement this year for their game, and I'm hoping the rumours are true, that it's Star Fox Grand Prix, because that would be so good.
You have been hoping for that for an extremely long time.
God, I really want it to be real.
That would be cool.
I love Star Fox so much.
They've got to have something coming out soon.
They have to. They haven't just been. It was actually I don't know, revealed, or I don't know what you'd say. It wasn't like a big announcement
Leak.
or anything. It wasn't leaked. It was just kind of like found out, I guess.
Yeah.
That the port. You know how ports are usually just dealt with some random studio that no one's ever heard of. The port of Tropical Freeze to Switch was done by Retro Studios.
Oh really?
They actually ported their own game.
Well, that's good. That's
But
why.
it's like really weird because people made a joke about it that they've spent 5 years adding funky to Tropical Freeze.
Oh, I'd play that.
That was tough. And that's why it's more expensive than the Wii U version. 5 years on that funky.
Oh, that's pretty hilarious.
Alright, anyway.
That's exciting stuff.
It's really exciting.
Yeah. Let me tell you, buddy, there's a faster gun
What do you think of
coming
Battle
on
of the
over
Scrubs?
when tomorrow comes. Now,
I don't know the word.
now the Coen brothers are gonna take all of our revenue. Because we sung that song.
All of our revenue. This video is going to have 0 views because no one's going to be able to get through the
click
puzzle.
through. They'll never solve it.
If you're listening to us right now, thank you so much. We really appreciate you listening to our videos. We really love making
Yeah, we
videos.
don't actually, we never say that, but yeah, if you're watching this currently, type Ridley was here in the comments, and we'll know you watched it this far.
Wow.
And then we're going to cry at the 0 comments. People are intimidated by the length of the videos and how good they are. So
Yeah.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs
Yeah,
is
go for it.
Coen Brothers' newest film, a Netflix original film, and I was so excited to watch it, and then I watched it, and it was really good. It's an anthology film with 5 vignettes of all Western stories that aren't interconnected in any way, but they're all thematically similar because they're all Western themed, and they're all about death and Western stuff. And it was everything I wanted it to be. It might have been 6. You might be right, which is bad. You had Buster Scruggs, you had James Franco, you had Liam Neeson, you had Gold Digger, you had Girl, and you had Death, Chariot. 6 stories, you are correct. I apologise, Coen Brothers. Coen Brothers' last film was Hail Caesar. Did you see that one?
No.
Starring George Clooney and Ralph Fiennes.
I know the movie because I saw
Han
the
Solo.
when
Yeah, it was definitely their worst film, I would say. It was
They're not
just
very good.
quite boring,
Yeah.
which wasn't great. It was still a good film, just Coen Brothers standards, you know.
Yeah.
As an ordained Dudist priest. That's The Big Lebowski. If you've ever seen that.
I actually haven't, but I know what you're referring to.
We should watch that, and also I'm going to mention something about The Big Lebowski afterwards, so remind me.
Okay.
But The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is really good, and I would say especially the Buster Scruggs, especially the first story.
Oh, opener to a film.
Really, really good.
Oh,
Buster Scruggs was
he's a
definitely...
psycho. I love it.
He's my favourite character of 2018 in any media,
Yeah.
and one of my favourites in many years. Tim Blake Nelson played him and completely stole the show. He was absolutely incredible.
The bit when he goes into that first bar,
Yeah.
the rough one, and he's like...
When you don't
really,
know yet.
he's really smiling
Yeah.
at killing these people, like, really happy.
Yeah.
Like, hey!
And it comes out of nowhere as well.
He's deranged. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's just the bit when he holds the gun behind his head and he turns around to the camera and it's like...
And
It's really good.
And also
Miss and Frog, I don't hate my fellow man.
But he's
I can't do the
also
American accent.
You kind of, even though all this is happening, you kind of like him.
Oh, you
think,
love
you know,
him.
you think he's cool. But then the bit where he kills the guy he's playing poker with
Yeah.
the table,
Stumps on the table.
you suddenly, at least for me, my opinion of him suddenly changed a lot. But obviously, we've seen him be violent with shooting people, but this was like excessive.
What, as in he didn't need to keep
really
stamping the
excessive.
table?
And it's like, it was super violent.
But the thing is...
whoa, that is really way too far.
But the thing is, you can always justify his violence. He never goes in aggressive or like, pulls his gun first. People
He
always...
didn't have a gun.
Yeah, people always like,
Yeah.
target him first. If anything, it's self-defense. And he's still kind to people, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's the West.
He's bloodthirsty though.
He did enjoy it.
He's definitely enjoyed that.
Yeah, but yeah, because he's not looking for trouble openly. It's always
I love that.
it's always like, well, yeah, I forgive him.
And then
He's
taken
my
by the
favourite
Black Cowboy
person.
at the end.
Yeah, that's
It's just-
great. He's a natural country singer, which is why he was an amazing singer.
That's really cool. Yeah. At the
I hear
the
him
end
on
of that
beat,
particular story,
slinging guns and singing songs.
when he
Watched it too many
flies
times
off
already.
into the sky
Mm.
as an angel,
Mm.
it's brilliant.
It's so good.
I knew absolutely nothing about this film going into it at all.
I didn't know anything other than... Okay, I knew a lot. I knew it was a Coen Brothers Western on Netflix with different stories.
I knew nothing.
But I didn't know like what it would be like.
I basically, me and my dad just went, we want to watch a good film. And we did a very brief Google. And I'm like, right, that looks good. Let's not read anything about it because I love doing that.
Yeah. Going
And
in blind
watched
is always
it.
fun.
And when he flew away as an angel, like, what is this film?
Yeah.
This is really bizarre.
I watched it with my mum and she was like, it's a really weird film, isn't it? I was like, yeah, it's Coen Brothers. She was like, oh. So my parents love Coen Brothers.
That's really funny.
So she was immediately behind it. Oh, it's just so good. It's
It's
just great.
You get so much. They really do go through a whole spectrum of human personalities.
No, yeah, completely.
Which I guess is the point of the film.
Yeah.
Is to just
It
display
really is about
people.
life in general, just
think it
in a
is.
Western setting. Well, and death, I guess.
Yeah. It also, of course, it is also heavily about presenting what the West was like in a.
Yeah.
Obviously,
And how
I guess in
awful it
history.
was.
but
Yeah.
it does talk about a lot, and I do think it does in a Western setting. It does actually talk about life, and it's quite fitting that it
Definitely.
ends with death.
Yeah.
It
It's
begins with death.
yeah. I mean, Buster Scruggs, he's in it for like 15 minutes. They just do so much with him in that
His
time.
story is pretty short.
Every
compared to
single
the other one.
this is one of the shorter ones.
Yeah.
Every single thing he does, it's just really snappy. There's no dull moments in his story. It's just consistently, it's just purely entertaining to watch. Give me your list of most favourite to least favourite Buster Scruggs vignettes.
Most favourite Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Least favourite the death bit. Death one.
I think I'd agree. I would say no. I asked you first, so you go.
I was going to give you a whole list.
No, yeah, that's what I want.
Okay. Second favourite would be the one with the carriage. What would you call it? The transport.
The convoy, the girl.
That's
yeah.
what I was looking for. The convoy.
Yeah.
That's my second favourite.
Going to Oregon.
Yeah.
The
Third
Oregon
would
Trail.
be Liam Neeson's one.
Yeah.
And then the other two were James Franco, the Gold. I think James Franco would be 4, Gold Digger would be 5.
Interesting. The gold one for me would be very high. I
How
really
high?
loved it. I think it would go Buster Scruggs, then the girl, then the gold miner, then Liam Neeson and
Yeah.
the guy from Harry Potter. James Franco, Gold Rush. I did really like the James Franco one. I really liked all of them. There's a lot to compete with.
I think the James Franco one was, I don't know why I liked it. It could definitely just be a reaction that it was just straight. That it was the second one after Buster Scruggs. And
Yeah.
I was really hyped up.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but I also think that James Franco's one had the least meaning to it. It was definitely
Yeah.
out,
You
out
can't
of all
escape
of
the
them.
inevitable.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't that deep.
I liked the ending. I thought it was really. I mean, the whole segment when he's back in the noose is hilarious.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And then it was like, that's a pretty girl.
Yeah, it's great.
No,
James
yeah,
Franco
it's
did really good in that as well.
I really liked the Liam Neeson's one.
Yeah, that
because
was very dark.
How dark it is,
Mm.
and the fact that
That one
the
felt.
last few weeks of his life or months, we don't really know a time scale,
Mm.
is he sees. I don't know, Liam Neeson is his carer,
I guess so. Owner.
owner, or something.
Yeah.
He goes and just takes him to a brothel
Mm.
and just turns him around. And I think the cut between before he starts
Yes,
it
I'm
and
really glad
after,
you mentioned that.
it's very slight. It's not like a big
It's
change, but it's subtle, and
it's really perfect.
you see it and he's like, oh, he's
He's sitting there looking a bit upset too, like he's just like defeated basically.
yeah. I don't think he's upset at the beginning. I think he's kind of just neutral. I don't know, kind of
Yeah.
where am I? And then defeated. Yeah. And it's a very subtle facial expression though. It's so good.
It's really good. He did a really good job. I can't remember his name. He played
How did they even film it?
Dudley Dursley from Harry Potter.
How did they film it?
I don't know.
He
And
has
they
lips.
had no dialogue between each other,
Mm.
but they displayed so
Yeah.
much. It does a really good job of manipulating you at first to think Liam Neeson is really kind and caring. I got like Love Actually flashbacks, like oh,
Yeah.
he's a kind, caring father figure. You think he might be his dad at the beginning, and then it's just literally snap that drunken scene.
For some reason, I never got father-son vibes there.
Fair.
I just thought these are two people who
Who travel around.
need each other.
Well, I mean, he says very early on, I found him like this in the streets of London or something like that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeehaw! I should have worn my cowboy hat.
Uh,
How did they film that was another question you had. Did
Yeah.
you mean with him having no limbs?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
especially when he's on his back.
Hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. Sorry.
Oh, God, are we
no!
boring you? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
It was a good analogy for show business. That was definitely what that one was about. He's the really artsy intellectual entertainment that people kind of love at first, but then people get bored of it.
Yeah.
And then the chicken is the lowest common denominator Adam Sandler movie
Yeah.
in Western form that people eat up, and then eventually just completely overruns the actual interesting entertainment of any level of value.
Also, simultaneously,
Mm.
it's about Western life.
Yeah, that one definitely felt the most like, for me, like if I was in a Western setting, this is the story I could most relate to. Because I'm not going to be out there shooting people and riding horses and singing songs. I'm going to be like going to a random show that's come by in the local village.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was more like civilian Western life.
Yes.
I'm probably going to end up with no arms and legs immediately if I was alive in the Wild West.
I need to watch more westerns. I've watched quite a few, but
Oh man, westerns are great.
I really love westerns.
It's a really fascinating setting.
It's such a strange era where you've got people who are, relatively technologically advanced, living in a very rough, barren world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
we've got guns, we've got cars. Towards the end, anyway.
trains.
But then it's also.
And you've got Native
barbaric.
Americans who are just
It's really barbaric.
completely the opposite, basically.
And at war with nature, which I love.
Yeah.
Whenever I watch a Western, a part of me yearns to be there because it must be. There's definitely some benefits to being so at one with nature.
Yeah.
But at the same time, hell no, am I living in it because I'd die.
Yeah.
Like you get shot. Like if you survive it, you're gonna get lead poisoning.
You wouldn't even die of something that cool. You'd get like dysentery or something.
Oh, anything. Like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's really because it's more recent than a lot of like, I guess what you'd consider historical settings. It's pretty much as recent as you can get without being like. I don't know, I guess you'd count a lot of 1900s as a historical setting, but you know what I mean. It's really recent in time to feel so alien.
Yes, that's what I meant by that. Like in terms of technological advance.
Yeah, like our like great grandparents would have been alive around that time.
Yeah.
And that's just a weird thought.
But it's a weird thought. But then, if you were to go to England in the same time period, then you wouldn't be thinking the same sort of thing.
No, that's definitely the weirdest thing, is to think about America in that time and to think about the rest of the world. It's a completely different thought process.
Yes.
To think about the things that were happening at that time and at that time.
If I think about 1800s England, I can. That's not.
I don't think it's that much different from today.
It's bad in many ways, but also, you can see. Oh, well, it's a logical progression to where we are now. To take time to look at it. Whereas the Wild West, wow, that is so behind.
America's crazy young.
Yeah,
it's like, how did they get to this point so quick?
Canada's even younger.
Yeah, no, it is weird, and it makes it all the more fascinating.
When I went to Canada, they were celebrating their 150-year birthday.
That's really bizarre.
Like,
I know people that old. I don't.
No, but not far off. There are people who are 130.
Yeah.
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 Crazy.
Actually, the oldest man in the world died the other day.
I feel like the oldest.
And that's it for openly beaten news.
You realise the oldest man in the world dies every day, like pretty much. Like, there's always an oldest man in the world at some point who will die.
Yeah, but he doesn't die every day.
No, but like
he was the oldest man in the world for a while, and he was still alive.
Not every day, but every year pretty much.
He dies and he comes back to life, and then he dies again. I don't know. This guy was like 130, probably not that old, maybe a bit younger.
Yeah, that's never old man.
Yeah, but he could hold the crown for 10 years. What makes you think that he's going to die so soon?
Because he's the oldest man in the world. He's not going to. He's not. He must have died that long. Sorry, this is long.
That's
really
fine.
sorry, viewers, for this adjusting today.
Really sorry, viewers that don't exist. Viewers aren't real. Time is just a construct. In an alternate universe, we have 1 million subscribers.
I wonder how many people
How do we get to that
actually watch the podcast.
I'm sure they'll kick up stink about the fact they're watching it.
They get stuck on the first few options because they're on mobile.
Can we please put links in the description?
Yeah.
No, that won't even happen. They'll keep following the path and somehow keep looping.
They'll find a path that we never realised.
Just like the director. Okay, real quick. I feel like there's not much to say about the gold mining story in Buster Scruggs. That was just a good story.
Yeah.
That was like the happiest ending. The girl's story was really good. I loved how depressing the ending was.
Yeah.
And it was the longest one. And considering it was the longest one, it had the most kind of like meaningless ending.
Yes.
Like it's just like, oh, it's over. But I think if it wasn't so long, the ending would not have had that impact. Because you spend so long with these characters on such an intense journey,
Yep.
you think it has to be leading somewhere, and then it leads to nothing, and it's like, oh, just like real life.
Yeah, I think that...
It was really good.
I was
The
just
characters in
saying-
that were phenomenal.
Yeah, really good. Oh, sorry. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
He's a sleepy boy, our Jam.
Yeah. I was saying about the gold mine one.
The gold mining one
He...
with Tom Waits.
I don't know what I was going to say though. That's the problem.
It was really good. I guess that's another example. He spent so long working to get that gold,
Oh, and I was going to say...
and then
I thought it was going to end with him being shot. That's
so did
why.
I.
And I'm so glad it didn't.
I'm really glad it didn't.
That would have been... We didn't need that. We didn't need that again.
No, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I thought it would end there, and I was half thinking to myself like, oh, the message is, you are really harm people, come along and take it, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, no, that actually doesn't really work for me.
I was also thinking...
I don't appreciate this ending.
Maybe the guy who shot the gold digger was then going to get shot by someone else. Like a group of people on horses.
I would have kind of appreciated that more. For some reason, him getting shot and it ending there, I wouldn't have enjoyed that, even though essentially the same thing happened in the girl and the convoy storyline. But that I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
I can't quite place what the difference is there.
She killed herself.
I guess so.
Which made it way more...
There was a lot of irony
It
to
was so pointless. It was...
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't need to die at all. Like, it wasn't like, oh, damn, she got killed by those Native Indian,
No.
Native Americans. She killed herself. That's
Yeah.
how pointless it was.
No, that is exactly it in fairness. And his would have just been like, oh, someone else steals the gold.
Which is not that great.
It's nowhere near as compelling as her storyline. And I'm really glad, I'm glad that, and Tom Waits was, like, once he, like, recovers, he's like, he did nothing important. Oh, that's so good. No, it's really good. The chariot storyline was very interesting, but it was my least favourite. I think most people have agreed that.
Yeah, because it's just people talking,
I think I just knew where it was going. I liked how the three characters kind of represented a vast majority of people.
Yeah.
And just those three. It worked well for what it was doing.
Like, I wanted there to be more to it.
And I knew what it was going to be.
Like you said, you can appreciate it for what it is, but also wasn't that entertaining to watch. It kind of got a little bit dull halfway through.
Yeah.
It was kind of...
In comparison to everything else we'd seen.
There were some scenes in movies that take a long time versus people talking that's done well.
Yeah.
But it's
Like
so
any
easy.
Quentin Tarantino film.
Yeah, and that's done well. Hateful Eight was all talking. Amazing film. I absolutely loved that.
Quite a bit of violence at the end, a bit of action then.
But not that much.
But yeah.
It was a film of talking.
At least 3/4 of it were people talking.
But I was completely...
Yeah, he's
I loved it.
he knows how to do dialogue really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to use one of his films as an example, but any of his films, the best example I can think of, the one that always really stands out, is Inglourious Bastards. The very beginning, when
Milk.
I can't remember his name.
No.
I can't remember the actor or the character's name. Is it Hans?
Oh.
I'm going to Hans because he's a Nazi.
I can't remember.
That sounds really bad. I just meant in films a lot of Nazis are called Hans. But yeah, the Nazi goes to the guy's house who's hiding Jews under the floorboard.
Yeah.
And like that's a really, really long intro of just talking, and it's so good.
Because the stakes are high.
The stakes are really high.
And you're really... And you know
It's the whole.
You know that he knows. You know, like
Yeah.
you know that he knows there's someone under there, and you're just waiting for it to all go wrong.
Yep. I can't remember who said it, and I'm probably gonna miscredit Alfred Hitchcock, but I think it was Alfred Hitchcock who said. I'm also gonna misquote the line that I'm miscrediting, but it's something to do with if you have a scene where there's two people talking, and at the end a bomb under the table explodes. It's nowhere near as good as if earlier on in the scene you show people that there's a bomb under the table, and it's exactly the same thing except there's Jews under the floorboard instead of bombs under the table, and like just the beginning's tense, but you're not sure why, but you can tell it's tense, and then that little panning under and showing the Jews just it's like, oh, it elevates it.
Yep. Isn't that?
And I think
Isn't
Coen
that
Brothers
incredible
are very
how-
close to that level of like dialogue.
This is a bit. I'm trying to think of the right word to describe what I'm about to say. I can't. Oh, I need to really stop. Don't you think that it's amazing? Human beings.
Yeah.
Human beings didn't evolve with films, and they were created recently, and yet you can. The brain can interpret a filmed story. Like in real life, you're never going to be able to go. There's the bomb. There's the table. Ever, you know. That you're never going to have that third person's perspective. It's not something that you can ever encounter.
I guess I know what you mean.
Not really, anyway.
Or if you're just watching two people talk.
Yeah, like in real life, you're not a camera that can pan around and look at different things going on at given times. And the laptop's gone off. And films come along and exploit things that the brain wasn't supposed to know. So
yeah, I guess I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Like you say it's for all.
Although I feel like since especially visual media, it's changed the way we think. I think people. I mean, I read something on Reddit the other day about this. How you remember things in third person. I don't know if you do that, but I absolutely do that. Memories I have of things I've done, I remember them in third person, like I'm watching myself. And like you have third person dreams sometimes. I think a lot of that is because of movies. I think it's changed the way we think about things. Like if you're imagining a scene with yourself, do you imagine it in first person or in third person?
It depends on what it is. Because right now,
Or if you're imagining something that's going to happen.
My brain can't stop thinking about memories that I remember in first person.
Fair enough.
I feel like there are certain moments in your life that are for some reason
First person.
just etched in stone. Like you just remember it exactly as it was.
Yeah,
You
really
remember
weirdly
feeling-
specific moments.
Very specific. I mean, there's one which here's a moment that I'm thinking of right now that came to my head, which is in first person, and it's when we were in Barcelona together, and we had sangria on the table.
Yep.
And loads of them, like loads of sangrias. But there were glasses everywhere.
We were very excited to drink those sangrias.
But there was a lot of glasses.
Yeah.
Like that, and we sat with some other people. For some reason, just like 10 seconds in my head of that.
Yeah.
It's like etched in stone. I can really remember that.
Yeah, we had the T-Rex toy.
But I'm trying to think of a memory that isn't etched in stone like that. I don't know why, it's just a moment that really stuck with me.
The thing for me, that is first person for me, that memory. But memories from later on, when we were at the beach, are third person. And I'm wondering if it's because I've seen photos of that. However, I've seen photos of us drinking sangrias in third person.
I'm thinking about that, and all I'm thinking of is first person. I don't think I do think in third. I think in first person.
Well, are you calling those thousands of upvotes liars, Jamie? It was on Reddit.
No, I think everyone has a different brain.
I don't think so. I think you're lying. Welcome to Openly Beta's Sandbox, where we talk about video games.
I think it's okay to have an existential...
It's a nice existential crisis. So yeah, third person, first person, Battle of Buster Scruggs. Coen Brothers. Big Lebowski.
I was saying we have 20 minutes to talk about all the films and TV shows of, less than 20 minutes to talk about all the films and TV shows of 2019.
Okay, I'll really quickly say what I'm going to say. So we need to watch Big Lebowski.
Yeah, we should.
But also, Coen Brothers made Big Lebowski. There was a teaser not long ago of Jeff Bridges dressed as the dude in the Big Lebowski.
Right.
And he walks along and looks at the camera, like smiles, and then walks away. And then it cuts to a hay, what's it called? Thing that rolls along.
Hay bale.
It's not called a hay bale though, is it?
No, it's not.
Is it just called a dust bowl?
A bundle.
Well, yeah, a little thing rolls along.
Primitive.
And then it has the date of the Super Bowl. And people are like, oh my god, Big Lebowski 2 is going to come out. This is amazing. However, it looks like they're just going to use Big Lebowski in a Super Bowl ad. And it's really disappointing.
That's
and I
crazy.
really want Big Lebowski 2 to come out. And that's all I wanted to say.
I think we should watch that.
We should watch Big Lebowski. We can watch it tonight.
Wish you could. So
Films and movies and...
This is going to be a very brief thing, and I do think we should actually maybe... we talked about
games of 2019.
We talked about Bandersnatch and Ballad of Buster Scruggs longer than I anticipated, but that's okay.
I kind of
Because
didn't. I thought it would take that
really,
long.
I really enjoyed that we did that. I think it was needed. We got it off our chests. I hope it was entertaining to listen to.
Gotta get our list up quick. We got to do our research, Jamie.
So, you know, the only film I can think of right now, which is a shame, is Bumblebee, because it looks terrible. And it's going to be terrible.
That's already out, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
It's got pretty good reviews. I think it looks like the best Transformers movie ever. That isn't saying much.
I feel like it's difficult to gauge how good a Transformers movie is going to be based on the trailer, because the trailers are always going to be good, because it's such a good looking movie.
Yeah, it does have really good reviews. It's got John Cena in it. I think it's going to be a good film. I don't think it's going to be any more... You've just deafened our viewers and myself. I don't think it's going to be any more or less. I think it's going to be a good, entertaining film. I think it's going to be way better than any other Transformers film and way less offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's not needed, is it? None of these are needed. They're all...
It's not needed. They're going to do insane amounts of Transformers films. Have you seen the list of Transformers films?
Yes, it's ridiculous.
They're doing crazy amounts. If anything, is...
Can you read it out for our listeners?
Yeah, I'm going to find it. I think this is the most needed of the Transformers films they're making, because it's just like... I don't know what I'm Googling. Transformers movies to come.
Also, I would like to... I know I've already mentioned this before, because for obvious reasons, but... Detective Pikachu and also Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario movie all coming out this year. That is so exciting! I can't wait! You know, a Detective Pikachu 2... that's hard to say. Detective Pikachu 2 is being made.
That's pretty cool. Before it's even come out. Here's hoping it doesn't flop.
No, it's gonna be good.
The creator of Sonic.
Oh god, it looks so bad!
The creator of Sonic
rubbish.
hates the design of Sonic in the movie. Sega were like, the only thing we demand is that he has one joint eye. And they were like, no, we're not doing that. So he has two eyes.
Oh no! Oh god. It's iconic for him to look like that though. That's
the thing is,
the
Sonic.
thing about Sonic.
Sonic's design is genius. Just use his design.
Yeah.
Either design, 2D or 3D. Make it animated.
Detective Pikachu took a big risk making him look realistic, and I think Pikachu looks good.
Yep.
Jigglypuff looks like the stuff of nightmares.
Oh, I think all of them look good. However, they do also look like the stuff of nightmares. Detective Pikachu took an absolutely massive risk, and if I hadn't seen the trailer, I would say that's going to be awful.
Yeah.
However, it makes so much more sense in a Pokemon world to have it live action, because the world of Pokemon is essentially our world, but with Pokemon in it. It's a very human world. It's filled with people. They live in houses like we do.
I disagree.
They drive around.
No.
But the whole...
No.
They live in a human society.
No. Sonic's world is way more like Earth than Pokemon.
Okay, well this is where it gets hard. Because what do we...
It's like totally different. It's like for Pokemon. Everything's about Pokemon.
No, it is.
Like
However...
everything. It's like gyms are like a big deal everywhere.
No.
That's not...
I know everything in Pokemon is revolved around Pokemon.
Like
but
everything.
it's still set in a normal
No
world.
one knows. Okay, other than like Sun and Moon, as far as I can recollect, I'm pretty sure that's the only game. There aren't any roads. There are no roads in Pokemon games.
There are routes. No,
Yeah.
okay.
You have like a city.
It's set in a world where they don't have cars there.
Black and white. It's like black and white. There's the main city in the middle, which is roads, and then how do you get there? Well, you can't drive. You have to like swim on your Pokemon.
No, you can cycle along or fly. No, but
Sorry.
it's still like... I'm sorry, I'm kicking your feet. It's still like... You can imagine yourself living there. Like, people live there and don't have much to do with Pokemon. There are people who live in this world and just have jobs. They go to work, they come home to their house in a human building.
I strongly disagree.
It looks like a human world.
There is not a single...
It's mainly populated by humans. I'm not.
Every single person you talk to, any NPC in Pokemon, talks about Pokemon.
Yes.
It's not some guy who goes,
No.
I go to work in an office and come back.
Right, okay.
If they do say
But Jamie,
that, Kangaskhan carries me home.
But Jamie, imagine Pokemon are just animals. Then it's the same thing. It's just a human world where the animals have magical powers. But other than that, you can see it looking like a human world. It's designed like a human world. The design of the Pokemon world is designed like a human world without roads.
Pretend that you're right and carry on.
Okay, will you at least agree with me that the design of a Pokemon world is vastly more similar to our world than the design of a Sonic world? Unless you're referring to Sonic 06 or
Sonic Unleashed,
one
where
of
they
the
have
crap
actual
ones.
cities and stuff.
No, but again, I don't enjoy Sonic Unleashed. I mean, the ones I enjoy.
If you're talking about the actual like zone, like acts themselves.
Yeah.
Then yes.
Okay. Perhaps I am thinking too much of classic Sonic.
In terms of Sonic Unleashed,
Yeah.
we've seen that there are people, real people, living in very human societies.
See,
in
I
the
suppose
world.
Sonic Unleashed.
But if you talk about the acts, then yeah, fine. Okay. We'll give you that.
I did enjoy the day levels of Sonic Unleashed, like everyone.
Like,
When I think of Sonic, I
Don't
think
talk
of
about-
really classic Sonic games
Fine.
or Sonic Heroes. That was a classic for me. It came out when I was very young.
If you're thinking about that, then I will.
Because that's what I want a Sonic movie to be about. However, it's going to be about a beat cop and Jim Carrey is Eggman. I just can't envision a world where humans are normal and Eggman is human. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, Robotnik. I shouldn't say Eggman.
So I
That's
think
a
really
sin.
anti you and picking apart. I shouldn't.
No, that's a fair thing to argue with, that the Pokemon world is like our world, because it's not. I just mean the way geographically and not archaeologically.
Obeying to our laws of physics.
What's
Not
the word for
really.
people who design buildings that isn't archaeology? Architecturally. I forgot that word because I'm so angry. Architecturally, the Pokemon world looks like a human world. However, in good Sonic, it doesn't. It looks like Green Hill Zone. And Jean-Ralphio from Parks and Rec is voicing Sonic. And it's going to be amazing.
I think we've established, based on Sonic Forces, Sonic Generations, and Sonic Unleashed, for the last few Sonic games, that they've decided to go for a more realistic world. Like
they have. I'm just in
let's be
denial,
honest.
essentially.
Ignoring Sonic Mania, which doesn't count, I don't think. They've definitely.
It wasn't made by the same team, was
They
it?
have definitely established that Sonic is on like an Earth-like planet with real human beings living in cities that we have, like City Escape is in a city. Like that is has roads, houses, you have cars everywhere. But that's real.
A big chunk of it is a big lorry comes and kills you.
You know that's real. You know that's what they're going to go off of for the film.
Even that is like the overworlds.
Could we maybe like
I guess this is going back to the act.
Can we maybe have like a little, just one thing we can agree on?
Yeah.
A Sonic movie makes more sense than a Super Mario movie.
Yes, absolutely. I've heard nothing about the Super Mario movie.
The Super Mario movie takes your argument to a whole new level because it's not like the Mario universe doesn't even obey by its own rules ever.
No.
It's like, it's just complete magic La La Land.
At least it's animated. You know what happens when we make a live action Mario movie? I just want to show you this, and also you're editing this video, so you have to find this moment and put this picture on the screen.
Fine.
Have fun. This was the
wait, is that what it looks like?
No. This was the when they were pitching the film, they had this poster. Chris Pratt isn't in the film, but they used him in the poster. So it's very highly thought that that's what he's going to look like, because this was their like pitch for the film. That isn't as bad as anything I was imagining.
Hey, that's not bad. Yeah, that's fine.
The only thing that makes me angry is his shoes are just normal shoes.
Yes.
He should have magical shoes.
I disagree.
You think he should have normal shoes? Because they're going for a realistic Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. No, the eyes disconnected there doesn't look nearly as bad. It doesn't look bad at all, in fairness. However, I would much prefer...
Why is this Pratt enough?
I don't know. Haven't done enough research. This is the actual poster. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
He's naked.
Like his legs.
His arms are blue. His arms should be beige. He's really muscular, and his face is a weird shape, and you can see his eye bulging out. He's gonna have a real hedgehog face. Right. There's a YouTube video. When you upload this video, you need to tell me so I can send you a link to a YouTube video, and you have to put that link in the description. There's like a 10-minute long YouTube video of this guy just ranting about the poster and Sonic, and it's hilarious, and everything he says couldn't be more accurate.
So I think we should say though, on a scale, well, my scale is the best film's going to be Detective Pikachu, then Sonic, and then Mario. However,
I would agree, only because Illumination are making Mario.
Well,
even the original designer of Sonic was like, I absolutely hate the design of the movie.
I'd say conceptually that is where I put it. However, realistically, I think Sonic would be the worst because
do you really?
Nintendo don't make a bad Mario game. Sega have made bad
Sonic makes their own games.
Sega have made bad Sonic games for a very long time, and they clearly do not care about the integrity of their franchise. Whereas Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto himself is overseeing the project, and I can't imagine it being horrendously bad with Nintendo being that closely related to it.
Yeah, okay. I would have disagreed on account of the existing live-action Super Mario movie. However, Nintendo are far more involved in this one than they were in that one,
yes.
Which leads me to believe this will be far better. Otherwise, I would say Nintendo have done this before.
I think we need to wrap this up, Jack.
Yeah, I can't find the list of Transformers films. I don't really care anymore.
No.
But there's a lot of them, and they're really unnecessary. There's like an R-rated Bumblebee film, I think, and then there's some live-action films, and then there's films that are set in a separate universe. It's basically DC.
You know what I want to watch?
What?
Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh my god, I was going to ask you to go and see that with me, and then it left the cinema.
It's like number 15 on the IMDb Top 250.
Really?
It
looks...
It's like 8.7 out of 10 on the IMDb.
Good. We really should see that.
This is a cartoon. It's incredible.
Yeah.
What a score.
It's an animated film that wasn't made by Pixar.
Yep.
It looks amazing. We really need to see it, and then we'll probably talk about that next time we do a podcast.
And on that note,
49er.
so that was 2019.
We didn't even get onto the 2019 list.
Bumblebee.
And the 3 films
Sonic,
we previously
Pokemon,
talked about.
Mario. That's it. That's what we need to care
So
about.
at least we all agree that the Pokemon world is the real world. Goodbye.